week on Emily Celtics Weekly, Reggie Lewis made his debut in the NBA All-Star Game, but the day belonged to Magic. The Celtics will spend most of February on the road, and we'll find out what they do with their free time. And our reporter, Willie May, challenges Dee Brown, this time the sport, bowling. All this and more next on Emily Celtics Weekly.
Emily Celtics Weekly, brought to you by Emily Motor Oil. Better than it has to be. And now, here's your host, Mike Gorman.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Gorman. Welcome to Emily Celtics Weekly. Well, as I'm sure you know, this past weekend, the NBA held their All-Star Game, so the Celtics had a little break before they headed out west for that 7-game road trip. The Celtics, though, were in action on Wednesday night before the break. An up-and-coming Houston Rocket team came to the Boston Garden. There were a couple of high points for the Celtics in this game. Johnny Most making a tearful return to the Boston Garden. John continues to recover from surgery. Early on, Hakeem Olajuwon making his presence felt, blocking Joe Klein, Kenny Smith to Vernon Maxwell, and the Rockets lead at 16-13. Reggie Lewis would be the guy for the Celtics as he warmed up for the All-Star game, getting 22. That tied the game at 23. And then the second high point for the Celtics, Dee Brown, back in action at last. Dee would miss his first shot, but Joe Klein was there for the follow-up, and the Celtics led 33-32. Buck Johnson comes up with a steal here from Kevin Gamble. Up to Vernon Maxwell. Otis Thorpe, another All-Star, had a great night. 20 points to go along with 12 rebounds. Dee finally made a basket. He would have 7 on the night. The Rockets up 39-37 at the time. John Bagley here to Kevin Gamble, who goes for the layup and the foul. And the Celtics take a 50-48 lead in the third. Hakeem Olajuwon, though, had a big night. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocked shots. He tied the game there at 52. But then bags to Parrish, who returns the favor. Boston goes up by 4. John Bagley. Nice look inside here for Ed Pinckney. Over to Robert Parrish for another dunk. And the Celtics are up by 6. And Boston eventually pulled away. Ed Pinckney saving the ball inbounds on the play of the game right there to Lewis, all the way to Joe Klein. Boston wins it.
I thought the first half basically went according to our plan. And we did what we wanted to do. We executed. We defended. And we had one let-up in the third quarter, and I thought that was key to the game.
Well, I feel like our defensive intensity picked up, and we stopped giving them 2 and 3 shots. Most of the first half, they're getting second and third shots at the basket. So I feel like we did a much better job on the boards, and also we cleaned them out of defense, and we were able to get a better offensive production. Also, we were very sluggish on the offensive end the first half, so I feel like there was a difference in the ball game.
The defense from the backcourt, I mean, they made it really tough to deliver the ball inside, and they got a lot of steals, tons of steals, and made it really easy for us in the second half.
I just think a mental lapse on our part just got them back in the game. Anytime the momentum switched like that and they're at home, their confidence level is just going to go to the next level.
In the first half, we were just turning the ball over, and we weren't getting back in transition. They scored most of their points off our turnovers, so we were able to just contain that, limit our turnovers, and just execute our offense.
Dee Brown's return to action was a pleasant surprise for everyone in Boston. Dee played 11 minutes. He had 7 points and a couple of rebounds. And we talked with Dee and some of his teammates after the game.
Felt great, felt relaxed. I think my defense was pretty good. My shots were there. Maybe a couple went in and out, but the shots were there. It's just getting comfortable with playing basketball again, which I haven't done in 3 months. And a game time situation is so different in practice, and I'm glad I got this one under my belt.
Yeah, he gave us an extra boost out there. Hit a couple of big shots, and everybody's so glad to have him back. It was really exciting for everybody.
Number one, I want to get back because I was ready. Number two, because those fans have been behind me, telling me, hopefully rehab's going great. And I want to make sure the first time I was on the court, it was in the Garden, not somewhere on TV where all the fans in Boston couldn't see me. So I made a point to work hard to get back, before the All-Star break.
It is nice to have Dee back. He's a great athlete, and he adds so much to our team, and it's just his presence out there on the floor causes problems, and it's great to have him back now.
Well, that's all I did was shoot jump shots, work on my dribbling, and those things that you can't do without running, and then I did. So, also with me all of a sudden moving to the role of being off guard, my shooting, is going to have to increase. My range has increased, so I'm pleased with what I did tonight, but you can tell I got a lot of work to do.
Dee Brown, he's in to the regular season.
Well, it is great for the Celtics to have Dee Brown back in the lineup, and the All-Star break did give the rest of the team some much-needed rest. But one Celtic who didn't get any rest and did play down in Orlando was Reggie Lewis. We'll check out all the All-Star festivities when Amalie Celtics Weekly continues.
There's the hook. There it is. Right there.
Tom still practices that shot before almost every Celtic broadcast. Last year, the Celtics were well represented at All-Star Weekend. Although Larry Bird was on the injured list then, the Celtics coaching staff, Dee Brown, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale all made the trip down to Charlotte. This year, only one Celtic would make the trip, Reggie Lewis. Here's a look at an action-packed weekend. Tommy Heinsohn got a chance to return to the sidelines and took his job seriously, coaching the East in the Legends game. It helped Tom a lot to have George Gervin on his club, as Gervin would score 24 points on the night. Here, Dave Cowens looks to JoJo White. Nice pass again to Gervin for another layup, and the East really controlled this game. Bob Love misses a running hook, but Artis Gilmore shows he can still get it up and down. Artis with the dunk. One of the great names, Connie Hawkins, a pass underneath to JoJo White. JoJo had 8 points in the game. Dave Bing showed that he still has some jump shooting for him as he knocks home that one. And then Dave Cowens dribbling the ball a little bit. And again, it'll be George Gervin who gets the layup. And Tom Heinsohn gets himself a W. The three-point shooting contest, Craig Hodges and Jim Les got together in the finals. And Hodges, who just seems to own this, really knows how to put him in down the stretch. Craig made 5 of his last 6 shots to end up with 16 total and put the pressure on Jim Les. There's a big shot coming up right there from Craig Hodges. And with that last ball, he got himself to 16. And then Jim Les, who looked like he was going to win this, made only 1 of his last 6. And Les ends up with only 15. Just couldn't get that last one to fall. And Craig Hodges has his 3rd championship, 5th time in the finals for Hodges, who's waiting for Larry Bird to come back. Dee Brown was on the sidelines for the slam dunk competition, and Nick Anderson taking a page out of Dee's book early on in the competition as he throws down the hand over the eyes dunk. Larry Johnson and Cedric Ceballos got together in the finals. Ceballos showing some creativity with the bounce and then the windmill dunk. Larry Johnson went for power on most of his. He had the highest mark in the semifinals. Ceballos coming from behind the baseline for that one. And Johnson again with another version of a power jam as he sends the ball up into the 3rd row. Little cuff job there by Cedric Ceballos. And he won it in the finals, and he took Dee Brown's blindfold to a new height here, running the length of the floor and sending it down. Larry Johnson missed all his dunks in the final, and Phoenix's Ceballos won it. In the game itself, the high point, Magic Johnson. Quite a story. Magic was indeed back for this one. 25 points, 9 assists for Magic in the game as he goes coast to coast there. The West just dominated this game. Michael Jordan showing his stuff. He had 18. But this was to be Magic's day. Little runner in the lane to put the West up by 10. Clyde Drexler also had a great day for the West. And Clyde gladly gave up that trophy to Magic Johnson. Scottie Pippen there on the alley-oop. Reggie Lewis did get to play in the game. And Reggie showing some of the hustle that we know about underneath, coming up with the basket, throws it down. Reggie had 7. But again, it was Drexler and Magic that were too much for the East. Over Michael Jordan, no less, with the dunk there for Clyde Drexler. Magic hits a 3-pointer. Gets a playful shove here from Isaiah Thomas, who was supposed to be covering him. And then appropriately enough, Magic Johnson steps behind the line and buries the final points of the game. The West wins it 153-113. Just a great day for Magic Johnson. But now that break is over, the Celtics have got their work cut out for them. They head west for a 7-game road trip, and we'll preview their travels next here on Amalie Celtics Weekly.
They're rushing to double Lewis all the time as he puts it on the floor. Long shot by Bird. Breaks the slump. Shaw gives to Bird into McHale. Thorpe's got him. Bird with the clock running down. Hits another 3.
I know what the problem was with the shot in between. He was too close.
Don Chaney can't believe it as he thought his Rockets were in this ball game, and Bird, with dramatic fashion, has hit 2 threes of his last 3 shots.
Well, traveling is an integral part of life in the NBA, and February is traditionally a travel month for the Celtics. No exception this year, as they play 10 of their 13 games on the road, and one of the 3 home games is actually down in Hartford, Connecticut. Here's what the Celtics have to look forward to.
It's tough, and you have to do a job, and we have to go in and try to play well. In Miami, it was kind of, let's just win 1 or 2, and when you're in Boston, we're going to try to go out there and win every last one of these games, and hopefully just, come out and have a good road trip.
Well, first of all, the teams are very good now, and all teams now take a lot of pride on their home court, and teams are very tough. It's very tough to win on the road now because the competition is so much better. So we got our work cut out for us. We got some very tough games on the road, so we just got to bear down and be mentally tough and go out and try to get it done.
The road trip begins in Texas with visits to San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. During the Larry Bird years, the Celtics have had success during their travels to the Lone Star State.
And the Celtics bring it up court to Larry Bird. From 3. And out! Larry Bird! A 3-point shot with 4 seconds to go. And the Celtics lead by 1.
Larry Bird obviously won't be available for any last-second heroics when the team begins the trip in San Antonio. Last year, the Celtics lost there for the first time in 10 years.
Out quickly to Anderson. Yes! On a slam! And the Celtics one time.
David Robinson and company gave a lackluster performance in losing to the Celtics at the Garden 3 weeks ago, but disgruntled coach Larry Brown is gone, and the Spurs should be a lot tougher this time around. The next night, the Celtics go 300 miles north to Dallas, where the Mavericks have been suffering through a disappointing season. Then it's on to the Summit in Houston, where the Rockets will be looking to avenge that 98-85 loss this past Wednesday when John Bagley and Robert Parrish ignited the Celtics in the third quarter. Then the Celtics go west for their traditional February date at the Forum in Los Angeles. The Celtic-Laker game will probably take a backseat to Magic Johnson's number being retired. From L.A., the Celtics move on to Salt Lake City, where the Utah Jazz are leading the Midwest Division. Along with Chicago, the Jazz have the best home record in the NBA, playing at their new Delta Center. And the Western trip ends at Golden State, where the Warriors have been playing great under Don Nelson. They've been near the top of the Pacific Division all year. All in all, the Celtics have 6 games in 9 days against 5 of the top 7 teams in the West. In addition to tough competition, the players must also deal with life on the road. An NBA player has to learn how to handle spare hours in strange places.
Well, that's something that you can't explain. You just try to deal with it the best way you can. Go to the movies, read a book. You try to do something to occupy your time, because you do have a lot of time while you're waiting for the games, and you do get bored just by sitting in the hotel room watching the walls. And, you just get tired.
You just got to stay mentally focused. You really can't stay in a room a lot. I mean, you got to go out to a movie, go out to dinner, go to the malls, and do different things. We're going on the West Coast, so we're going to get some nice weather. So maybe you can sit by the pool and do some different things. But if you had to stay in the room the whole time, you'd go crazy.
Fortunately, most of the places I've been to, I've had friends and people I know from school or from just being, traveling a lot. And hopefully this 2nd of February, I'll be able to see a lot of different people on the road. But, I do a lot of reading, and that keeps your mind, active. And also, you try not to watch as much TV, but it's there. And you find yourself in hotel rooms a lot.
Some of the guys get together, take a walk, do a little shopping, find a good restaurant, and most of the time you have to have a good book. If you got a good book to read or good books to read, you better have them with you. But it's just a normal life. We just try to find things to do, try to maybe a movie, try to hang out together as much as possible. Because to stay in that room, those 4 walls can close in on you. So you try to do as much as you can with your teammates.
You got to bring a big, fat, thick book, or there are a couple of movies you can see if you have some idle time. And the guys get together and do those sorts of things and go out to their favorite restaurants or whatever. But it's tough. Sometimes, most of the time spent in the hotel room behind a TV set or behind a book.
Most of us are veterans, and we're used to the travel, the wear and tear of the season. So a lot of people read, a lot of people go out and hang out, go to the movies. So busy, so the boredom doesn't get ridiculous.
Well, nobody mentioned bowling as a travel activity, but coming up next on Emily Celtics Weekly, we'll see if our reporter, Willie May, can notch more strikes than Celtic guard Dee Brown.
I can do that.
Look at that shot.
Oh, I got that.
That's Leon Spinks.
I got that.
You ain't getting that.
Last week we saw Emily Celtics Weekly reporter Willie May challenge Ed Pinckney to a game of horse. Eddie won that one easily. This time we sent Willie out to bowl against Celtic guard Dee Brown. Now, horse may be an easy activity for an NBA player, but bowling? Take a look.
So, Dee, summer's gone.
Yeah.
We've talked about this all year long. It's your chance. Take me on in bowling.
I got you.
Oh, I'm up in the lights, too. Look at that. Oh, man, you're in trouble.
You did well. It was warm-ups, but I got some for you. I've been saving everything. And, I told you the horse, but you want to bowl. So.
Nah, you know I ain't going for the horse. That ain't crazy. But good luck tonight.
Good luck. All right.
I'm the man, though. I feel it. I'm going to take him out of here early. I dedicate my first strike to Dee Brown. This is not a dunk, but it is my first strike. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's one. I'm going for two here. Well, that's kind of sweet. You see the leg kick? That's a double. It's a double. Oh, yeah. Woo! You in trouble. You mine. What you got? Oh, I'm feeling good tonight. Feeling good tonight, Jill. Don't be copying me. Don't be kicking. Oh, wide left. Yeah. We should throw you in there. Feeling pressure yet?
Man, nothing.
No pressure?
Piece of cake.
That was wide left.
Yeah.
The kicking team's coming out.
All right, here we go. Clutch. Ready?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. That was good. Ooh. I think you got ripped off there.
Man.
It looked good, though. Good effort.
No. It's early.
Go, Dee.
It's early.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Wide left. Yeah. You like that left side.
Storm left. I got to move over, sir. Uh-oh.
Oh, you got your coach with you here?
I need some help right now. All right.
Man, I got to find me somebody to come coach me.
No. Here we go.
Come on, D, that's wide left. Uh-oh.
All right.
I see you.
Okay, I
see you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, here I go. Where's you going?
Now, when I get this third strike in a row, D.
What's the record here?
Huh?
What's the record here?
I don't know. I might hold it after this. But after I get this third strike, you know, it's called a turkey. I'm going to gobble for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Gobble.
Yeah. Short.
Oh, come on, baby. Oh.
Short.
Ooh. I wanted that. That would have looked sweet in the box. What I'm doing? All right, I'm doing all right. Think I can pick it up?
Go ahead. No, you can't pick that up.
I'm going to put the kick on it.
We'll get a 17 split. Short.
Oh!
Yeah!
Oh!
Yeah!
Ooh, you see that got ripped.
Yeah.
That was like your first one.
No, you did.
I'm in my last frame here.
The last frame.
Trying to put you away.
No.
I shot my baby up real good.
I'm going to get a strike on 9 and 3 strikes on 10.
All right, D, I got to go with a double here.
Left. I can beat him when I need to beat him. If 3 strikes, I need 3 strikes.
Yeah, you know 3 strikes.
I can get some. Okay.
Get out of here. That's baseball. You out.
Nah.
I got 1 ball left here. I can still get me a bonus ball.
Watch this. No, you ain't. 3 strikes, you lose.
Yeah.
Left. Left. Uh-oh. All I need is 2 strikes.
All right, show me what you made of it. You can win in the last round here.
2 strikes, all I need. 2 strikes, all right.
How many strikes you have tonight?
Hey, you say it's best for last.
How you best?
Here we go. All I need is 2 strikes. Okay.
Baby, let's go.
Here we go.
He's nervous. Yeah, wide right. 7.
That's all right.
You need this bad.
I get it.
Show me. I'm from the show me state.
All right. I still got frame 10. No.
I don't think you can pick it up.
I'll make this one.
Old black magic ball ain't ready for it.
Ready?
Wide right. What'd I tell you? Bam! Oh, yeah!
Huh?
Oh, wrapped all around it.
All right.
You can still go out striking.
Yep. I think.
Huh? Think you might beat me by 1 pin?
Shooting your ball.
Hey, what you doing, Brown? That's a man's ball. That's my ball.
I tried to sneak me one.
He tried to get one in on me. I was talking to Richie the scorer. He tried to pull my leg while I wasn't looking.
That didn't work.
All right.
No, I think you should do it over again.
Fair. Yeah.
Man.
Couldn't work.
Oh, no.
Let me see what the final score is.
Oh, you didn't beat me by 10.
20. I got you by 20. On this one. But you know I'm a sport. We down for the rematch?
Give us what? Rematch.
We'll do it again?
Rematch. Let's go.
All right.
Willie May finally finding a game that he can win at. Let's take a look at some upcoming games for the Celtics as they head on this busy Texas then West Coast road trip. Tuesday night, the Celtics in San Antonio, Spurs at 8 o'clock. Then right again on Wednesday, the Celtics will have to take on Dallas in Dallas, and then they head further west after the stop in Houston on Friday night. And Sunday afternoon, it'll be in Los Angeles against the Lakers when Magic Johnson's number is retired. So a busy week on the road for the Celtics. We'll have all of it for you next week on Amalie Celtics Weekly. See you then.